Welcome back to another one. I'm getting ready to mix some of our own chicken feed here. I'm no longer buying chicken feed. That trash can right there has the last little bit of store-bought chicken feed I plan on feeding my chickens. Of course, I have a video in the past about it, talking about it, but price of chicken feed, it really don't pan out to be buying chicken feed anymore. And I have corn here. I get this from work. It's spilled corn from work. When we put it in the bowl or flat storage, spills out in some holes out the walls or out in the ground. I get it scooped up, cleaned up before it gets wet. So I go around and scoop up all the piles and bring it home in feed sacks or buckets or barrels or different stuff. I got another 35-gallon barrel there. And I went to my dad's the other night and I got a barrel of bean meal. It's just bean meal from the bean plant. Gonna process this corn here. I bought a grinder. And off Amazon, it was $319. I did not pay that. I actually prolonged it long enough that I was thinking about buying one and thought about not buying one, then thought about buying one. Well, after so long, there was actually happened to be a coupon for it. I think I paid like $270 something, $274 I think is what it was. If I remember, I'll go back in and I'll tag that on the top here what I paid for it. But I'll put a link in the description for where I bought this. It's not an affiliated link. I'm not getting any money for it or anything. This is just a grinder. You can get this one cheaper. I ended up buying it with the has wet mills, like a sanding wet mill grinder also, but this has the grind. This is for like dry grains. Then you can do wet grains with that other, with the disc. I got them laying over there, but my dad has one of these. They're not, his is a little bit different, I believe, on how this auger piece is set up. And looking at this one, I like the idea, I like the way this looks. Think it'll actually help pull that stuff out of there. And it'll probably crack some coming out, which is fine. Kind of get it ready to go in to the actual grinder. Let me get this closed again, one-handed here. Bear with me for a second. And then it has the adjustment here on the end for thickness wise. You'd screw this out to leave them thicker to crack them. You can grind it and tighten it up to make more like cornmeal or anything like that. So I haven't set this up yet. It's just kind of preset, just a little bit of tension on there. I'm going to plug it in and get it running, and I'll tighten that up toward the consistency I want. I don't want cornmeal, but I don't want it just cracked corn. I want it broke down a little bit closer to that crumble side. And then I'll be mixing the ground corn with the bean meals to kind of adjust my protein, because I said that's a very high protein. Corn's at like 9%. All right, I got that barrel basically emptied out. There's a little handful down there, but got it all ground up. It's about like cracked corn, a little bit smaller, a little bit of dust in there too, but grinds it up pretty nice. Make good chicken feed. I'm gonna mix that with that bean meal, and I'll probably just blend it right back into this barrel here and figure out the ratio to drop that down closer to that about 16 to 18% protein, and just keep blending that over. I got this barrel yet to grind, but that barrel only took me about a half hour to get it all ground up, so it grinds pretty fast. I made a little chute, just took a piece of tin I had galvanized piece of tin, kind of made it into a funnel down there. And I just took just a piece of cloth basically, it hangs over top just to keep it from bouncing around. I had a little bit bounce on the floor, so I shut it down and covered it up. Kind of helps it run right down in there. Doesn't let it kick out everywhere. Chickens will be happy, and I'll be happy. Won't cost me a lot. Feed the chickens now. And instead, if I keep grinding this feed like this machine, this grinder, I mean, yeah, it costs me money up front, but it'll pay for itself in a year. Yeah, I mean, it'll pay for itself in a year, and actually probably faster than if you figure out new prices. Because if I take my $319 that it was, I didn't pay that, but like I said, if you take that full price and you divide that by the $17.99 a bag that it is now, that's only not even 18 bags of feed, and it pays for itself. So if I can grind 18 bags worth of feed, paid for itself. But if we take my $319 and divide that by the $12.99 that it should have been, or should be, it's still only 25 bags, and it pays for itself. So if you're looking for an alternative way to feed your chickens or any animals really, and you want to grind it yourself, this is a handy little tool to have. Not a bad purchase for us here. It cost me, I think, I'll put it in here. Hopefully I'll go back and look, remember. It's like, I think I paid like $279 for it, $275 for it, something like that. It was $319 is what it's supposed to be, but had that coupon, and I'm paying like $270 something. But you can get this one with the same grinding wheel set up with no wet disc in there with it for about that $280. I said I wanted the one with the wet disc, and then the coupon I ended up paying the same price anyway. So, and you can buy the wet disc later on if you want to grind the wet grains later on. You can always buy them, and they just go right in there. They're universal. This is a 3,000 watt grinder. Let's see here, if you can see it here. Rated speed has there. Let's see here. It tells you. I'll say milling details. You can do corn is 133 pounds an hour. Rice is 166 pounds an hour. Wheat is 166 pounds an hour. Patty rice is 110 pounds an hour. And then refining details is soybeans 110 pounds and rice is 110 pounds, because that's, you got the refining disc, it's a wet disc, and then the milling, this milling is a grinder here. Like it's set up now. So like I said, it's not, you can't do many hundreds of pounds in a long time, but like I said, that barrel there only took me about a half hour, about a half a barrel there to grind. A little less than probably third a barrel to grind. So just you know, I have access at work to get this stuff for free, or the bean plant out in the road where the trucks dump, to pick that stuff up. If you watch in the fall when they start harvest, you can you'll see them spill it. They'll spill some grain, corn and beans and everything out in the fields. And you stop and talk to the farmer and ask them about scooping it up. Watch the side of the roads, especially on the on-ramps or off-ramps near the co-ops and stuff. They'll stop and dump their hoppers out so they can fill with something else. They got to get everything cleaned out, so they just stop there and dump it out because they're too lazy to actually clean it up when they get back to the co-op or whatever to scoop it up and throw it away or do whatever with it. But they just drop it off on the side of the road. Of course, wildlife will eat it and stuff, but if you find it, you can scoop it up yourself, or like I said, just keep an eye out for it out in the fields. I said we scoop up a lot out in the fields, or watch for them filling bins. Just a quick update on the feed grinder. I have this feed barrel completely full, this 55-gallon barrel completely full, and just below this handle here is 3 bags worth of feed, and I actually filled it up to the top here, and so I'm going to call that just 3 bags of feed, and it took half of a barrel, so I can get 6 bags per 55-gallon barrel. So I had 12, and if you've seen the short video I had just a little bit ago, one of the shorts, I had went and picked up a bunch of bean meal. So getting ready to work back on the insulation here. I needed this feed out of the way, so I finished grinding. I brought some corn home from side of the road. We seen it one night. We went out to eat. My wife works over in the hills and seen it up at the corner, so we ran up there and got that. Ground the corn down and actually had enough to make another 6 bags worth of feed. So right now I have 15 bags of feed ground, and if you figure my $319, which I did not pay, I paid $270 something, but it is $319 you went to buy one now. So if you take that $319 divided by your 15 bags, right now I'm at $21.26 a bag. So I'm not too far off from the $17.99 or $18 a bag of chicken feed of Purina brand or stuff we were buying. So I'm getting pretty close to even tying even or breaking even with that. So right now I still think it's a pretty good investment. Like I said, I know what I'm putting in my chicken feed now, and still getting my 6 to 7 eggs off my 7 chickens I have. So like I said, we're happy with the purchase here. Figured I'd give you a little update and show you how it's coming along. And this will be enough feed here to last me probably about 6 months before I really have to start getting more feed. But I still have a part of a protein tub, another part, so I probably have a tub and a half, and I took some out of the barrels and the bags here, but I'm gonna run the rest of that through the grinder because there is some beans in there. There are some soybeans in there, so I'm gonna run them through the grinder just to break them up, just so it's easier for the chickens to eat. And so there's not a whole lot of beans, but there's some. So I'm gonna run them through the grinder just to get them broke down, I said, and then put them in my barrels and consolidate my barrels down so I can move all this stuff out of the way, so I can keep working on the insulation here. But thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.